Welcome back to Ray's Extreme Engines. I should say Extreme Transmissions as well. Here we are on a Turbo 400. If you've been watching each video, you'll get to see how it actually comes all in play all together. I'm trying not to make an entire 2-hour video of how to disassemble, assemble, and clean and everything, because that's a long video. I do get comments and people actually commenting if they want an entire video. I will make you one like that. If you go back and just look how I assemble the clutches in each one, there's a video for that too. So right now we're actually going to put all the internals inside it. So first of all, hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Give me a thumbs up and hit that bell. When you hit that bell, it alerts you every time I put a new video up. It's from transmissions to engine building to, muscle cars. You name it. It's done. If you look down there on the floor, a Turbo 400, it's already been done. That's with the 34 element sprag. That one's fully built, ready to go. That'll hold about 800, 900 horsepower. This one here we go, and we're gonna put the clutches. It's already put together, so we're about to put all the internals in it. If you just walk up this way, let me show you something real quick before we put it in there. As I said before on your other videos, if you keep everything in order, how it goes in there, it'll make it a lot easier. This right here, the center bolt. If you remember on the first video, this is where that bolt goes. Well, it goes right here in this center hole. That's where that bolt's gonna go in. So make sure that this entire system, this entire shaft, everything goes in here, and it goes all the way to here. So you can do it this way on top of a table, or you can do it on a stand where you have the entire hole on the bottom and you can just drop it in. I like it like this because I don't have the end of the tail housing in here, so I can actually stick my hand and guide it in there. Again, you want that in the center. And I believe also, this is some good stuff, Lucas. This is for all your washers. It holds everything in place. That way, when you're assembling it, it doesn't fall off. Your washers don't fall off. This is good stuff. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and start assembling it. Also, what I like to do is I like to get a marker and I mark here so I can know where my center is. Let me do that right quick. So you see where your bolt is? And that tells you that's where the bolt is. That way when you're putting it inside the transmission, you're not trying to fluster back and forth to see where it's going. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and put it in there. And let me check right quick while I'm looking. I wanna see where the hole is. So as you can see, I just stuck a screwdriver. I'm about to take it out. You don't want this in there, and then it'll pry it. It'll make a mess. So a light does help. So there's the center. If you can look in there, you'll see it. With that light, you should be able to see this hole right here. Of course, you'll see 3 holes. You want that center one. This is where the bolt's gonna go in. So again, you want this center piece in there. You don't want to be going back and forth trying to take this entire thing out. So here we go. Maybe my head will get in the way, but if you just look from up here, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. little bit of tap. If you look up here, probably better on that side. Okay, you see it? It's almost there. So we just have to tap it a little. You can just stay right there. Let me get in here. I'll tap it until it gets seated in. There, see it? Make sure it's enough. Yep, it's seated now. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your boat. You're gonna put your boat back in there before you start anything else. And there's your first part. There you go. Now, your snap ring, if you remember when you first took it off, there's a flat part and then there's that bevel part. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. There's the bevel and this is the flat part. You want the flat part towards the inside of the transmission. You want the bevel sticking this way. So you'll go in there and you're gonna see that groove right here. All right here. Okay? That's where you want it. I just had something on that little screwdriver. Okay? So that's what you want. So you get your snap ring in there. See if I can put this down and actually work with it. See, there it is. There. You know you have it right once it's fully seated in there. See, it's all the way in there. That's it. Okay, now you're gonna put your clutches in. Just like that. And your main one. And then your snap ring, this one is the same, it's just flat on both sides, so it doesn't matter. There. That's it. Seat it. All right, you're good to go. Now your next one is your clutch assembly. And this one's already all complete, as I told you before. If you go just back to that video and you'll see. And it just goes in, seat it like that, and you can twist until you get all the, and it's gonna keep going in. See, it's completely seated. And you can go back and just get your fingers and you can feel it when it's all the way in there. You can go back and you can feel that it's touching the other one already. And you actually, if you go in here, let's come in here. If you look right here, between your teeth, there'll be some teeth right here, and it'll be flush to this other shaft. When it's flushed, not sure if you can see it, but when you work on that, look on this. If it's flushed together, it's completely seated down. If it's not, then you need to keep turning it, keep twisting it until it gets in there. But you can see the other, you can see this shaft turning. That means it's completely seated. Okay, then you get your other one. Remember, I use that grease in order to keep these washers in there. If not, the washers will come out. So this one just goes, and you see, what I'm talking about is this, seating to this, to these clutches that are right here. Put it in there, and you're going to twist this as well until it gets seated in there. And then you can feel right here, and that both clutches are, both pieces are actually touching each other. And there you are. You assemble the inside of it. Now we need to put the pump. Now on this pump, you can recalibrate the pump by changing the spring. You change the spring out, you take out this snap ring. But when you take this snap ring, careful, because this is under pressure and it's going to shoot right out. So I like to hold a screwdriver just like that, pushing it down. I like to get a snap ring and take it out. If you have a vise, it's good to put it in a vise. And then you change it out to TCI, and it gives you a better recalibration on your pump. So the way I put this, I didn't put silicone. What I did was I put some grease on here, and it just holds that gasket in place. And then we're just going to put the pump in there. So you want to make sure you have that the pump is lubricated so it doesn't break that seal. And your kit does come with new washers, not bolts, but washers for those. Okay, on your pump, this is going to go straight up. And if you look at this, here's your hose, line them up to these. Okay? So the way you can line it up, you already lined up. You have your two bolts right here. 1, 2. So then you can just kind of guide it in there. And just look for your bolts. You're going to have to lift it up a little. Before you push it in there, you want to make sure it's your hose line up. You can can even do this. That'll help you not turn that gasket when it gets close. See how easy that was? You come up here, come to this side. You actually see what I'm talking about, how the pump should be. You see your pump is right there. That's how it should be. You can actually put a kit while the transmission's in your vehicle, and there's your spring. You can take that out, and it does, but I mean, it's a little difficult doing it that way. So all you're gonna do is tighten those bolts up for your pump, and that's your assembly for the transmission. Right now, that is your assembly for the inside. I'll do another video, and we can go towards the valve body, we're going towards putting everything together, and you can put each video all together, and then you can see. Or if you're just doing the valve body, you'll know how to deal with the valve body. Or if you just want the interior and you want to do something with the interior that you can't remember how it went, you can just look at that video. So that's why I'm separating them. That way you can decide which one you need to look at. If you already know how to disassemble, you can just tear it apart and put it together. As you can see how that one's all right there. Yeah, that's because I had to get some pieces off of this one to make this one work, because some things were broken off of this one. For instance, this was broken. As you can see, stuff is falling off of this one because it's broken. So I gotta get that before my dog gets it. So, thanks for watching. Again, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up on this one. Share it. Help others. I'm doing this so you can do your own transmission. You don't have to pay somebody to do your transmission. Again, you're just going to torque these bolts out. If you just look at your, go to a manual and look at it. I can't remember it on top of my head. I believe it's like 15, 20 pounds. I'd have to go back there and look at it. So that's it. You can just hand tighten them real tight, and be careful because you can strip it. This is aluminum. You can't mess it up. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.